What's up, geeks? So I am currently in Virginia, and as you can see by the outfit, I am dressed pretty colonial, and for the next 3 days, as you saw by the title, I will be going to Mount Vernon, aka George Washington's home, and I will be going to colonial Williamsburgh. Now you're probably wondering, why am I vlogging this? Well, YouTube is a place where you can share information and share your experiences, and usually when I go somewhere, I look up vlogs to see what it's like there and stuff. Like when I went to Disney, I looked up a ton of vlogs to see what I was getting into. And whenever I looked up Williamsburgh, I noticed that there really wasn't any vlogs. So I'm going to try my best and vlog colonial Williamsburgh, and as an extra, Mount Vernon as well. But I'm ready, just waiting on Dad. And then we're going to get going to George Washington's home. So let's go. Sheepy! We made it, and now we're about to take a tour. This place is beautiful. He had a lot of money. Jeez. So the tour was really great. Unfortunately, I was not able to videotape in there, so if you want to see what the inside looks like, which is really nice, you're going to have to come and visit. I actually just talked to someone who's dressed appropriate colonial outfits, and he was asking me if I served in the war. So that was great. So now we're just going to continue walking around the property. So I told you how a colonial person was talking to me. I told him that I fought in the Battle of Gettysburg. That's not the Revolutionary War, that's the Civil War. I feel so foolish. I was so prepared for someone to ask me, you know, what battle did you fight in? I'm just going to say Yorktown next time. I just had someone address me as Mr. President.
Threshing his wheat, specifically by the method of treading. So treading is where you bring in horses to come in and stomp on the wheat, and that is going to extract that wheat berry or that wheat seed from the stalk, because that's all you really need is that wheat seed. That wheat seed is going to be taken over to the grist mill where it's going to be ground into a flour. And so Washington starts changing over his cash crop in the 1760s from tobacco to wheat, because basically the tobacco has depleted his soil. He has not much he can grow, and so he goes into something that does not have as many taxes on it as tobacco does, and he can sell it to whoever he wants to, whereas his tobacco he has to sell back to England. So he comes across, he has his wheat, he's not distilling, I'm sorry, he is threshing his wheat the same as everyone else. He starts off with the flail, which is right here. enslaved workers would have used the flail they would cut the wheat, and then they would be outside and they would beat the wheat as this spins around over and over again. It can take about 30 men and 4 hours to do about an acre's worth. That's not very efficient, and Washington was all about efficiency, so he then decides to go into treading with horses. He is still doing this outside. The worker stands in the center, has the horse on a lead, and the horse is going to trot around in the circle. There's still problems with this method, though. He's losing a lot of his product back into the earth while it's out there. And he's trying to fight the summer showers that they were getting every day. During this time, and rule number 1 of wheat is when you cut your wheat, it has to stay dry from that point forward or it gets ruined. So he tries to figure out a way to eliminate both of those problems, and this barn was the solution. He creates this barn, and he's using the inside where you are sitting today to, once he harvests the wheat, he stores it in here. So the workers can cut about 7 to 8 acres in a day. They're going to put about 6 to 7 of those acres inside, and an acre's worth of wheat is going to go on the outer track here, like you see out here today. Now what you can't see because it is covered in the wheat is that there's an 1.5 inch gap between the floorboards on the outer track, and that is on purpose. Washington does a lot of experimenting and realizes that if he has an 1.5 inch gap, then 90% of his seeds are going to fall to the bottom floor of this building, and 90% of that straw, once the wheat is gone and it's just straw, is going to stay at the top. That's making it even more efficient process. It's keeping it out of the elements, so he can have the workers working and treading the wheat at all times of the day and seasons, so that's not a problem anymore. And then he is able to get back about, I said 90, he was losing about 30% of it outside. He gains back 20 of it, so that's how he gets his 90% back. From there, they're going to sweep it up down below, and they're going to do what's called riddling and winnowing to remove what little straw did fall down below with it, and then remove that chaff from the wheat, and then it is taken to the grist mill, and it would have been turned into flour. So this is a reconstruction of the barn. This was built about 20 years ago. The original building would have been at Doe Run Farm, which is about 3 miles down the road from here. This is Washington's industrial industrial farm. So the barn and the grist mill would have been in the same location at that time.
Look everybody, it's a historical golf cart. What a sight. This place is just so nice and well kept and so historical, and got a little pendant, which is a hat from the gift shop, and 2 postcards of just Washington, and it's a nice day. It's a little humid, but it's a really nice day. Look at this garden. This garden is so pretty. So that was Mount Vernon. I hope you liked it. Sorry I couldn't show a lot. I wish I could show the inside. some people are doing lawn work next door, so sorry. But I wish I could show the inside of the mansion, but again, you're just gonna have to go if you want to check it out, and I really recommend going. It's a beautiful place. But today is Williamsburgh, so let's get going. Yeah, right. Oh, the revolution! Look at this pretty windmill. Look at it. It's a red windmill. Hi, Dad.
Plain and simple. Here in Virginia, you know who is better than you in Virginia society. You know who you are better than. Lord Dunmore is better than you. So what happens? You go, you bow to Lord Dunmore, and you take your spot on the side of the room. The next couple will enter and do the same, but when they go take their spot on the sides of the room, they're going to look at you and decide if they are better than you in Virginia society, or if you are better than them. If they are better than you, they stand further to this side. If you are better than them, they stand to that side. Most important couple, least important couple. But being least important is not that bad, because remember, being least important in this room means you're still better than everyone outside of this room. But you have to show it. And the way we show it in the 18th century is by dancing. They said the Virginians will dance or they will die. Now the man who said that was a man by the name of Philip Vickers Fithian, and he was very biased because he's a dance instructor. Might have just been drumming up business, but Virginians do dance or they will die, because guess what? That's how you determine where you fall in Virginia society. The wealthier you are, the better dance instructor you can afford.
Ready? Yeah. Fire.
So it's the last day. We're going to Williamsburgh again. If I mentioned Lafayette earlier, unfortunately I can't see that actor reenact him because you have to be a donator or something like that. So, but we're gonna get everything that we missed today, and possibly if we have time, we're gonna go to Yorktown. I have a fancy hat now, which makes me a captain. So yeah, we're gonna go get back to Williamsburgh, so let's go.
Pewter looks very silvery. I'll pour some on the plate and you guys can just see that. That looks good. Bag it there. So pewter looks a lot like silver, but it costs a lot less. It's what most folks are eating with plates and trays and bowls and cups.
Pewter's a mixture of what?
It's mainly all tin. And then you've got to harden the tin. So sometimes they would use antimony or bismuth or copper. So those little small amounts are added to the tin. Now if you wanted to stretch it out, then you might put lead in it. So I'm going to scoop in and I'll cast a spoon. You can watch me do that. The metal that spilled over, I can drop back in the pot and reuse it. It'll take a little bit longer to harden in the mold, but it's still pretty quick. This is kind of the quick part of forming an object.
So a competent worker could maybe set this up in 7 or 8 hours, something. So, you know, if you were handed this first thing in the morning, by, you know, mid-afternoon you should have it set. And, you know, maybe do some corrections and slap it in the press. So, you know, by the end of the day you could actually have them printed in drying like these here, you know.
That's one page.
Yeah, this product. So in other words, this product is essentially, this handbill is essentially a same, you know, it could be theoretically a same-day product. You bring it in first thing in the morning, come back by the end of the day and get them, you know, that sort of thing. But obviously, yeah, it's not a very big product, so, you know, it's just that and that. Basically, it'll be two-sided once we're done with it. You know. Yep. So let's get our next sheet of paper here, get ready to get another copy. Of course, if there are other specific things you want to discuss, feel free to speak right up. That's why we're here, after all.
How often would you an issue come out?
Well, this isn't a periodical. This is a handbill. So this is a one-time thing here, you know. Now, but the newspaper, it depends on how many customers you have in your area, right? So, you know, obviously, the bigger your city, the more customers you have, the more often you could justify doing it. Basically, you got to figure out, you know, for a newspaper, what's the bare, or any product really, how many of these do I need to sell to make it worth doing, you know? So and then you got to figure out, well, how often can I print it and sell at least that many? So in Virginia, the paper would be a weekly. In Philadelphia, maybe 2 to 3 times a week, and in London, they have dailies. Hello. Hey, you want to hold a little closer so you can see? Can't see from over there? There you go. Can't see from the back there. So welcome. So you can easily see why we call this a printing press, right? What better name for it? And the ink, or most of it anyway, will transfer to the sheet, giving us yet another copy of that product, right? There we go. Hello, come on in. Welcome to the shop.
They got sheep out here. Little Bo Peep. Good day.
I compliment your uniform.
Thank you. I found him. I said hello to him earlier. I'm gonna go to him now. Here we go. And that's also George Washington. Oh my gosh. How are you?
How was your ride?
Good.
Excellent.
How's your day been?
It's been wonderful.
It's great.
It's a beautiful day out.
Yes, it is. Hear anything from Hamilton lately?
I'm always hearing things from Hamilton. That can't be helped.
Yes.
He has been put under my command from General Washington's work as a staff officer, and now he's in command of a New York battalion in the Light Infantry Division. He's hoping to make a bigger name for him because he's filled with such dash and fire, and certain he will find it.
Yes, he is.
Enjoy
Yes,
your
he
rest,
is.
my love.
What's your horse's name?
I call him Vercingetorix, named after a great Gaul chieftain from the 1st century BC, who came from the same region of Gaul that I am from. Good day, monsieur.
That's okay. Don't.
Who taught you English?
Well, it came in stages. I attended the academy at Versailles, where I had my first introduction to English. But I would say my best English lessons were on board the ship La Victoire as I crossed the ocean for the Americas. My friend Baron de Kolb would assist me there. But it is of great help if you are immersed in learning a language. So I came to America in June of 1777. I made my way to Philadelphia City by the last day of July 1777. I spoke with General Washington, who does not speak any French. So there I was able to converse with him. But the telltale sign is that 1 month and 1 week later was the Battle of Brandywine, September the 11th of 1777. Washington had entrusted me with rallying a portion of the American line that had begun to retreat and fall back. I dare say if I was yelling at them in French, they would still be running to this day.
Yes. Have you met Marie Antoinette yet?
I have met the Queen on several occasions. So indeed the King as well, Louis XVI.
Would you call America your second home?
I would. In fact, I have said to General Washington, the first moment that I met him, j'ai deux patries, la France et les États-Unis d'Amérique. I have two countries, France and the United States of America.
Nice, nice. When do you return home to France?
Well, I have received an order from the King that upon successful completion of the campaign at Yorktown, the siege of Yorktown, I am to return back to France. There is talk of me perhaps receiving an expeditionary force to attack one of the Sugar Islands in the West Indies, but more importantly, there is talk of even an invasion of England itself. So, but we French have been talking about that since 1066, so I do not know if it will come to pass.
No, not yet. Have a wife yet?
Indeed, I was married at 16 when she was 14. So as you can imagine, it was an arranged marriage. April the 11th of 1774 to Adrienne of the Diane and the de Noailles family.
Excellent. You miss her, I'm imagining?
Of course.
Yes. When's your next battle?
It shall be Yorktown.
Yorktown.
As soon as General Washington gives the order to march.
I see. Hopefully you see Hamilton by then.
Oh, I will. I see him every day.
Every
He
day.
is part of my light infantry division. I take it you're a big admirer of Hamilton.
A little bit. More of you, but...
Oh, what do you honor me so?
My country, 'tis of thee.
Well, I hope you enjoyed this little video of Mount Vernon in Williamsburgh. Hopefully it's a bit educational and enough for you that you might actually want to go and visit those places. But that's pretty much it. So if you like this video, hit the thumbs up button. And if you want to see more geeky videos whenever I put them out, hit the subscribe button. So as always, stay geeky, my friends. No, Dad, that's the whole point of vlogging is me holding it and videotaping myself.